Right, hello. So yeah, I did another approved food order recently. I think this one was even better than the last one in terms of the stuff I got for the price I paid for it. So quick recap, if you don't know, approved food is a website that does food at typically reduced price. You do have to be careful. Sometimes things aren't massively reduced and you might find them cheaper elsewhere, but generally cheaper than your typical supermarket. I'll say generally cheaper than something like Discount Dragon as well. They do have a lot more stuff that's past its best befriend date, but generally that stuff will be unaffected or might be slightly affected, but generally should be fine to consume. But obviously check nothing has gone off and all that kind of thing, use your own judgment. But yeah, a lot of the stuff is so cheap and it's really good to be able to stop it from going to waste, you know, because it's a bit past its best friend date, they'll do it really cheap. Like a lot of the stuff's 1p. There's a lot of 1p deals or really cheap deals. And another thing, and the reason why I say this is perhaps one of the best approved food boxes I've got so far, is they shoved in quite a lot of free stuff. So the fun of approved foods is they often give you some freebies as well. I know some of the other websites do that. I think Discount Dragon did that occasionally. But yeah, they gave a lot of good free stuff. Just to mention something, a nice lot of foodie products, which I've got some here to go into. Also, a massive 12 scented toilet roll pack. Don't know how much that would cost normally. See, that can't be behind after its best friend date because toilet roll doesn't go off as far as I'm aware. Maybe they just wanted to clear some space in their warehouse. It could be something like that. Now that would be really handy for somebody. Personally, in our household, we don't use scented toilet roll because it's not always the best for. I think you can work it out. Yeah, so we don't use it. Some people do though, and so what we do is we'll donate this to, you know, like in the supermarket they have those things where you can pop stuff you can't use, or not necessarily can't use. You buy stuff to donate to somebody who can use it. But also, if you've got something you can't use it, you can pop that there. I'll find one of those and pop it in there so it won't be wasted. So it was nice it was given for free. We personally can't use it, but we can make sure somebody else can use it. And also there's other foodie bits, so we're cracking with those. Yeah, now we're going to start with the crisp, flavouring crisp. So let me get all the crisps out. Yeah, I think these are all of them. First of all, happy Christmas and all that. Yeah, Christmas themed crisps in April. We've just had Easter, but there you go. No, supermarkets go. They probably have Christmas stuff out anyway. But yeah, very soon, unfortunately. But yeah, the thing with this is, obviously it's a discount place, so they will often have old stock. But you know, food is food, and you know, these flavoured crisps you still might want to have in the other time of the year. For example, roast turkey, you know, could have that time of the year, not just at Christmas. So these are something that's heavily associated with Christmas. However, they do form a part of a roast in other times of the year as well. Pigs in Blanket crisps. These are from Co-op, and they are not even out of date. Oh no, sorry, no, they are out of date. 21st of March, only just. I might have had these before, I'm not sure, but let's give them a quick try. Probably might bring out the same ones this Christmas, so this might be a preview of what they'll taste like. Oh, they're rich ones. They're nice. Also, I'm keeping in mind about the date, but pretty sure they taste exactly as they did originally. I'm getting a nice bacony flavour, a nice sausagey flavour. These are nice. It's probably one of the better pigs in blanket crisps I've tried actually from Co-op. Probably about £2 at least normally. I can't remember how much they were, but oh no, actually, oh sorry, these were one of the freebies that were added in. So, now I did put these in. I thought they were turkey Twizzler crisps for some reason. I don't think that exists. Imagine if it did. I thought I saw turkey Twizzler crisps, but no, they're turkey drummers and fries. We get turkey drummers and fries. So 21st of March 2026. Yeah, so just out of date. Again, I'm not sure if I've had these before. I get confused. I might have, but let's see. So you've got a fry. I don't remember actually ones where you get fries and then you get a drumstick. And it's sort of a faint, not exactly turkey taste, but you know, a typical crisp version of a turkey taste. And then you've got a drumstick, they're fun shapes. Yeah. They are vegan. There's a nice softness to the crisp, yeah, they're like a nice type of crisp. The chip fried type ones remind me a tiny bit of French fries, but soft. You know, the Walker's crisp French fries, but softer. Yeah, and there's a sort of a turkey type flavour going on. Yeah, they're quite nice. Yeah, they're nice. I like the texture of those. And then another crisp item, I got a mould. This is something that I bought that wasn't free. This was Golden Wonder, so I like Golden Wonder. So there's one thing about Golden Wonder, when I was growing up, I remember them being in all the supermarkets. They were like a major crisp, like next to Walker's kind of thing. And then I can't remember when it started to happen, but in more recent times, maybe the last 10 years or maybe even more than that, well, certainly in this area anyway, in Wiltshire, I only ever see them in the discount stores now. I don't see them in the main supermarkets, but they're quite easy to get in the discount stores. And they're also quite reasonable usually. I've forgotten how much these were, what I bought the multi-pack, but it was very reasonable. I did get quite a few different packs of crisps because they were really good prices. But yeah, I got some Golden Wonders because I really like Golden Wonders. There was a selection pack, beef and onion, cheese and onion. What's another flavour? No, I think it was those two, which I've had not that long ago. But a flavour that I hadn't had in that pack was chip shop curry. I mean, I might have had these a long time ago, but I don't remember. So I thought I'd try some of these now and see what they're like. I like chip shop curry. I think it is a flavour I've had in crisps, but not for a very long time. And as I say, I can't remember whether I've had them in Golden Wonder or not. It doesn't smell like chip shop curry. What's the best brand date on these? 4th of April, so only a few days out of date now. I think I'm getting chip shop curry. No, I don't think it's because they're only a few days, because they're a few days out of date. I wouldn't have, we're talking like 10 or so days, I wouldn't have thought that had made much of a difference, but I'm not getting no chip shop curry flavour. That's a bit of a disappointing one. And they're enjoyable to eat because Golden Wonder have a nice taste, but they're a nice type of crisp. But yeah, I'm not getting nothing like chip shop curry personally. It's just like a pleasant, almost very salted flavoured crisp. The tiniest, faintest bit. As I say, I wouldn't have thought those few days out of past their best friend day would have affected them, but they haven't, and I don't understand how their curry flavour. Bit disappointing there. Nice as a crisp, ready salted, but yeah, I'm not getting nothing chip shop curry there. Right, now we're on to the sweet stuff. Now these I'm looking forward to trying. Saw these, I've seen them in the shops, but managed to get them much cheaper from Approved Food. Vanilla latte flavour Oreos. So I'm hoping for a sort of milky coffee flavour in these Oreos, a limited edition. They're out of date, 31st of March, yeah, just out of date. You won't notice in something like this because it's lots of sugar and that tends to preserve things. Recently had the Cadbury's cream egg ones, they were quite nice. So whoops, a bit fell off somewhere, I'll pick up after. These are going to crumble, I'm regretting not getting a plate. They are really, really nice. And so Cadbury's cream egg ones were quite nice. And the Cadbury's cream egg flavour wasn't as predominant as I thought it was going to be. It was quite subtle, quite nice. But here, you really get a coffee flavour, but it's not a strong coffee. It's like, well, just like you get a milkiness of a latte as well. So it's just like a not that strong latte flavour, really. It is really, really nice. in an Oreo biscuit. Oh yeah, I'm going to enjoy them. I'm going to enjoy them with a cup of tea. So it'd be funny having something coffee flavoured with a cup of tea. But I think that biscuits pair best with tea for me personally. They can be quite nice for coffee as well. If it's a Biscoff, that goes well with coffee. But they are really, really nice. I really like those. What else have we got here? Oh yeah, back to Christmas. I forgot we've got something else to do with Christmas. So I remember seeing these in the shops. So I get to try them now. Maltesers and mini reindeers, but gingerbread flavour. So I've had the regular ones, but I've never had gingerbread flavour. 31st of May. These aren't even out of date. They're still in date. Right. These were thrown in free, so what a nice little treat. You get a few in a bag. I like the normal one because I like Malteser chocolate. Malteser chocolate's nice. Oh, something else I tried for the first time that came with this order. White Tim Tams. I've not had any type of Tim Tam before. I know they're sort of like a penguin, but like thicker. And yeah, kept seeing them on things like Snack Wars and that, and I've seen them in like Home Bargains. I always wondered what they were like. So these are the white ones. I haven't tried the milk ones yet, but the white ones were nice. I can see why they're popular. I believe they're Australian. They're very popular in Australia, but we've got them over here as well. So let's open this up. So yeah, this is not past its best for a friend date. It's a little reindeer, so it should taste exactly as some reason I was going to say God intended, but I'm not sure. I believe these are made by not God, but who makes Maltesers? Mars, yeah. I would be surprised if they weren't nice, to be honest. You've got the Malteser chocolate, those little crunchy bits inside the chocolate. It's like almost fizzing in my mouth. And then you've got ginger. The ginger's quite strong, not massively strong, but it's strong enough to go really nice with that sweet Malteser chocolate. Very nice. Yes, they've got a biscuity bit inside. They are lovely. They were free, so that is a nice treat. So I got some really good deals. Saved a lot of money with what I bought on Approved Foods. Oh, and one thing, it came a lot quicker this time. Last time I mentioned how it took a while to come. This time it only took a few days, so I guess it just depends how busy they are. Right, I've got these. They're called Beat Bites. I think I've seen these before. It says, a boost from nature. This looks like the kind of thing I like. So it's vegan, 100% natural energy, gluten free, high in fibre, no added salt, new recipe, cocoa and cranberry. It's got cocoa nibs in it, so they're going to be like little balls. It says eat to the beat. It's apparently you're only allowed to eat these if you listen to music. Well, we don't have any music on at the moment, but I'm playing music in my head. Currently listening to Evanescence new song, which is very good. In my head, I can hear it. I would recommend also listening to it, but actually playing it. Right, so they're like that. Yeah. So nice little shape. Oh yeah, cranberry is nice. Yeah, these are kind of when I say they're up my Strasser, because I watch Greeno Eats and he says that a lot. If you like something, it's up his Strasser. I've heard this expression before, but because he says it a lot, that's now in my head. So and that's what came to mind. But what I mean is, yeah, definitely they're my kind of thing. Yeah, that pressed fruit. I like pressed fruit things. Got some more of those coming up. I got some Ella's Kitchen cocoa balls that I've been eating. Sort of been nice as a mid-morning snack. I have bought them before in the past, but these were a really good deal, so I did get some. And yeah, they're very nice. Usually got the cocoa taste is very nice, and then the cranberry didn't come in at first, and then you started to taste it after a while. It's got really nice sharpness to it, and it's refreshing. It says you get 6 in a pack. Very, very nice. I got a whole box of these. I got plenty of these. I also got a whole box of the next 2 items. I took a chance. I was able to buy a whole box at a good price because I was like, I'm very, very sure I'm going to like these. I tend to like these kind of things. just as snacks, especially when on the go, to have on me. So this is from a company called Prestige. So I got a carrot and chili box, carrot and chili twist. Got a box of them, and also beet and coconuts. So says no added sugar, and they're pressed bars. If you've never had a pressed bar before, there's some famous branded ones like Naked, for example. And yes, fruit pressed together, dried fruit pressed together. I don't know how they do it, what the process is, but yeah, I just find a nice filling, sweet treat, satisfying, good bit of energy. So this one should be chili and carrot. So, well, that flavour should work really. Sweetness of carrot was from chili. Let's see. Very carroty. In fact, I can't see they're in date at the moment actually, because I haven't got the box with me, and I think the date's on the box, but they probably taste similar or the same as when they were in date, something like that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a sort of earthiness of the carrots come through so much, and also the and only a little bit of the carrot sweetness, and then there's a little bit of a chili in the background. It's nice. It's a lot more savoury than I was expecting actually. Whoops, I managed to knock the camera. Let's knock the tripod. Well done, Ben. Just steady that a bit. Yeah. So yeah, not bad. Well, I'm intrigued to see what these ones are like. Yeah, they leave a nice taste in your mouth. Beetroot. I like beetroot, but with coconut. Yeah, it probably will work. Maybe the beetroot ones will be sweeter. Let's see. I like these ones even more than the chili carrot one. Yeah, got a little sweet beetroot, and then bits of coconut is like a really, really good combination. Oh yeah. I think if I want something a bit more savoury, I go for the carrot and chili one. If I want something a bit more sweet, I go for the beet and coconut one. Very nice. Now, why don't we wash it down with 2 drinks? So, an iced coffee boost. It says 119 on it. I paid less than that. Can't remember how much, but less than that. Mocha. So, I've seen this brand. I think they might make energy drinks, and yeah, they also do iced coffees. Now, I love my coffee, and to be honest, even when it's warm weather, I have to be really, really hot for me to go for an iced coffee. I actually still enjoy drinking hot coffee. I just enjoy hot coffee more than cold coffee. And iced coffee, you know, if you get one with all the proper ice cubes and all that, yeah, it has to be really hot for me to go for one of those. Because I tend to, yeah, prefer still to have a hot coffee, or something like this, which has just been in the fridge. So it's not going to be quite as cold as something full of ice and all that kind of thing. Now, I'm not a big drinker of cold coffees, even these ones like this that have just been refrigerated. What I tend to often find is they put a bit too much sweetness in, and you're not really tasting the coffee, so it's a bit disappointing for me. However, these ones haven't got the most sugar, and it's basically just milk mixed with a few other bits, but mostly milk and a sort of coffee flavour, so it should be not as sweet as some, so it might be nice. So when they're done well, they can be refreshing. Let's see. Oh, of course, it's a mocha, so got a nice chocolatey taste there. Let's have another sip. Got a bit of strength to it as well. Yeah, that's probably one of the better cold coffees I've had. I've not had a huge amount, but yeah, when I have had them, yeah, that's not bad. I have to say, I'll definitely enjoy finishing it. I could add some ice to that, but I think it's quite nice as it is. Yeah, not bad at all. And we got one more drink. Hello, cider. Yeah, so this is something I saw on Approved Foods. They do a lot of different Pokemon cans. Well, at one point, if you didn't live in Japan, when Pokemon first made it big in the UK, it was hard to get them. And then gradually you started to see more and more sort of Asian shops selling food and drink and snacks. First there was some in London, I think, and all over the place. They opened up a lot of them, so it became easier to get things like this and other Pokemon things, snacks, and other anime snacks and all that kind of thing. So that was good. But now, and for quite a few years, you can get them in many places, supermarkets, discount shops, as well as like the Asian specialists, which will often have a bigger range still. Oh yeah, Tesco's in the meal deal section, I've noticed where they have the sushi, they often have cans for Dragon Ball drinks. So yeah, it's good to see all these familiar characters on the cans. So they only had Psyduck flavour, and they have, I don't think it's going to taste like Psyduck. Apparently it's citrus flavour, so that's citrus flavour. But I looked online and they do other flavours in this range. And it's flavoured water, so it's not like a Coke or anything, or lemonade or anything like that. Apparently it's flavoured water. Now, I don't typically drink flavoured water. And I don't particularly drink fizzy drinks because unfortunately I don't sit too well in my stomach, all that kind of thing. But as an occasion, what I do is, because it's fun, it's Pokemon, they're also really cheap, I'll open it up, take a sip a bit, and then the rest will go in the fridge and it will lose its fizz. I know a lot of people want a drink to have its fizz and not for it to be flat, but I'm kind of the opposite because I often like the taste of these things, but they're just too fizzy. So yeah, this is supposed to be citrusy. So I've had Pokemon drinks before, but I don't think I've had this one before. This company, it's like QDOL, I think it says. I did do a Google Translate on it, and that's how I know it's apparently citrus flavour. Which smells like Fanta. Tastes like a light Fanta, like it's a little less heavy than Fanta, but there's quite a lot of flavour. It's got a nice citrusy taste. Yeah, you're still tasting water though. Not like if you're getting Fanta, you're not really tasting water. It's a very heavy flavoured drink. I'm getting the water and the citrus and the fizziness. This is a bit more drinkable for me actually. Well, that's refreshing. That's nice. So, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these products. I enjoyed everything. Golden Wonder crisps are a bit disappointing. I can't get chip shop from them. I have to get someone else to try them and see if they can get chip shop from them. But maybe it is because they're out of date. Because you know, Golden Wonders normally taste a bit more like you expect them to with the flavours. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but they're still perfectly edible as crisps anyway. Let me know if you've tried these things. I'd be interested to know what you think about them. If I was to pick favourites, it's quite a difficult one. It could be the Ginger Maltesers. It could be, to be honest, yeah, that Pokemon drink was pretty nice. And also, I'll tell you what else, those latte Oreos, that may be my favourite Oreo flavour so far. My top tier ones are the mint flavour they did, the ones with the extra cream inside. I also like the white, the golden Oreos quite a lot as well. Yeah, I'm not sure what all my other favourites are because I like all of them in some way. But I will add those latte ones to my favourites, definitely.